In 2012, tennis champion Serena Williams celebrated a gold medal on the grass courts of Wimbledon. A decade later, Snoop Dogg performed on a stage built to resemble his hometown during the Super Bowl halftime show. To a global audience, these moments looked like simple victory dances, high-energy routines meant for entertainment. But to the residents of Compton, California, these steps represent a localized physical language. Performing this exact sequence on the wrong street corner in the 1970s carried severe consequences, including school expulsion and physical violence. This is the central friction of digital virality. When a hyper-local culture goes global, the visual aesthetic often survives, while the original intent is erased. To understand why a gold medal celebration sparked a media firestorm, we have to look past the entertainment and learn to read the history written in the footwork. In 1970s Compton, first-generation Crip member Robert Sugar Bear Jackson used these movements as a form of chemesic signaling. It was a way to communicate identity and territory without saying a word. These shuffles and V-steps served a literal function. Practitioners used their shoes to physically trace the letters CRIP on the pavement, or use a heel-toe pivot to cross out the names of rival gangs. This private code moved to the global stage in the 1990s. West Coast artists like WC began incorporating the footwork into music videos and concert tours, broadcasting the street-level vocabulary to millions. Snoop Dogg played a key role in aestheticizing the movement. By syncing the steps to the heavy rhythms of G-Funk, he repositioned a dangerous territorial marker as a global cultural brand. But visibility invited scrutiny. As the dance reached a wider audience, it triggered immediate resistance from schools and television networks that recognized the illicit origin of the movements. By the early 2000s, schools and outlets like MTV enforced strict bans on the dance. To institutions, the footwork was inseparable from the violence of the gangs that created it. In response, youth culture developed a modified derivative known as the clown walk. This version functioned as cultural camouflage, designed to evade censorship. This comparison shows the mechanical shift. While the original relied on slow, deliberate spelling, the clown walk prioritizes randomized rhythmic shuffles and athletic speed. This sanitization successfully removed the physical danger of performing the steps in public, but it also stripped away the historical context for mainstream consumers. This erasure explains the 2012 Wimbledon controversy. Serena Williams performed the dance as a spontaneous celebration, unaware of its street-level meaning. Because the mainstream only saw the sanitized version, her performance felt like a joyride to some and a provocation to others. By discarding its literal alphabet to appease institutional bans, the footwork lost its ability to define itself. It became a vessel for whatever meaning the observer chose to project onto it, leaving its origins invisible to the mainstream. In 2022, Snoop Dogg brought the footwork to the center of the world's largest commercial stage. His Super Bowl performance was more than a routine. It was an intentional act of cultural reclamation. Modern artists like Kendrick Lamar have built on this by performing both the original Crip Walk and the rival Blood Walk side by side. This dual performance rewrites the syntax of the movement. By using both dialects at once, artists transform a language of division into a unified celebration of shared West Coast heritage. This graph tracks visibility versus meaning. When a subculture hits mass media virality, replication outpaces history, causing significance to drop. But by 2026, multi-agent orchestration reverses this trend, using AI systems to permanently archive the specific context and human intent behind a digital artifact. Tools like the Mpelembe Network AI content analyzer provide a digital roadmap for this history. By breaking down performances into technical data and historical context, these agents translate the soul of the movement for a global audience. A subculture's language will always mutate when it reaches the world, but through intentional performance and context-aware technology, we can ensure the history written in the footwork is never erased.